We're ready. We're already on. Um, Danny, you want to start with this? You can peruse that real quick and then pass it down. I've got,
First,
no, we can do board 2 if you want, since it's all automatics, but it doesn't matter.
Good.
And I've got 10 o'clock, so we're good.
good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Let the record reflect that this is the meeting of the Elkhart County Alcohol Beverage Board. This 19th day of February at 10 a.m. The members of the two local boards are Kevin Bullard,
Katie
Greg Barbario,
Reynolds.
And Michelle Trevor, State Excise Police.
Are there any persons here who wish to voice opposition to any permits on the agenda today? If so, be sure you have signed in, then please stand, state the permit you wish to remonstrate against, and remain standing. With all persons in attendance seeking a new permit, requesting a change of location or ownership, or seeking a renewal after a violation, stand with the demonstrators and please raise your right hand. Do you each solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the answers you are given or you have given on your application or any testimony you may give in response to any questions asked by this board to be truthful, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated. All right, we're going to start with board 2. And on there are all automatic renewals. And on the agenda, we have Walmart 1378 Lincoln Way East Goshen. We have Wings, etc. Gateway South Drive Goshen. Walmart 1566 Elkhart Road Suite 2 Goshen. We have Martin Supermarket, number 27, College Avenue, Goshen, and renewal El Zacalo, College Avenue, Goshen. I will ask for a motion to accept the automatic renewals.
I'll make a motion to accept the automatic renewals.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion's passed. That finishes the agenda for board 2. There was no meeting in January, so we have no minutes for approval. So we will move on to board 1. All right, so on board 1, the automatic renewals. We have American Legion 143 Maple Street in Bristol. We have Walmart 2679 County Road 6 West Elkhart. Walmart 4399 Old US 20 Elkhart. We have Margarita's Mexican Restaurant, Middlebury, Indiana. And we have Wings, etc., Elkhart Road, Goshen. Page 2.
Yep.
And then we have Yakida's, North Main Street, Elkhart, Hotel Elkhart, and Toledo Mart, Toledo Road, Elkhart, and Elkhart Food Mart, US 33 Elkhart. I will ask for a motion to accept the automatic renewals.
I'll make it.
We have a motion by Danny, I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carries for the automatic renewals. So now we have on a violation of Phil's Corner, which is RR 2030343. Phil's Corner, County Road 7, Elkhart. Michelle?
Good morning. Can you state your name, please?
Jason Grimes?
Okay, and you are the owner?
Yes.
All right, so Jason, you're here for a renewal after a violation. You had a violation in, looks like February of 24 that did not get scheduled for your renewal in February of 25. So that's why you're here today. Tell us what happened with the violation. Looks like you paid a $1,500 fine and had a 3-day suspension. So what happened?
We had a shooting that involved two people that had made bets on a pool table at a different establishment. She bet his girlfriend. Well, she got mad enough that she left with the guy that won. And when the boyfriend came to the bar, it snapped. And so we've had problems since. We're now just do APA pool leagues and tournaments. We open at 11, we deal with our regulars during the day, and at midnight we close. If there's tournaments that extend over, we stay open and let them play, but we've eliminated the night crowd. We don't do deep live music, DJs or karaoke anymore. It's nothing but problems. It's Kroger's closes at 10 o'clock, Myers is closing early, everybody's closing early because there's a crowd of people in this community that nobody wants to deal with. And the sad thing is now that the bars are closing, these people are gonna start meeting at our skating rinks and different places where our kids are gonna be. It's already happening. I'm sure you've seen the skating rinks have brawls and stuff like that. And I don't want to deal with it no more. For when to start, APA, my brother is currently in the process of buying the APA. It's mostly played out of Phil's now. And we're wanting to expand into hopefully get some open in Goshen. Or we can start leagues out of there and maybe start amateur leagues for youths and like the boys and girls clubs and just start doing different things. We're more of a restaurant / pool hall now. And we haven't had no problems for 2 years.
Okay.
This last shooting we had was over something that happened 15 years before. There was restraining orders keeping the gentleman away that got into a fight in the park. They waited for the guy to leave. Somebody had called him, the guy that got killed, and told him that the kid was there. So he came and waited in the parking lot. And when the kid went out of the building, 3 people jumped on him and it happened in the parking lot. That was terrible.
That was the incident that happened when about
September of 24th. That one we didn't get charged for because that one had restraining orders and that was over something that had nothing to do with our bar.
okay, that happened outside the bar.
Yeah.
Right? So had you already started closing earlier when that happened?
Yeah, we was doing 35 and older parties and we was closing at 1 o'clock then. We can run no young kids in, it was 39-year-olds, like 40. Something that happened 15 years ago.
Okay. So the other violation that I see you had was back in 2021, which was a retail to retail purchasing, $1,000 fine you had paid.
Pouring a bottle into another bottle,
Oh, okay. How long have you owned the bar?
2000.
Since 2013? Okay.
The Keys and Goshen's 2011, 2019. It's too much.
Yep. So when you're talking about, go back real quick to the, you said you and your brother are gonna open an APA, or what is that?
The APA is the Amateur Pool League of the United States. It's players all over the country. Then once a year, they meet in Vegas to do a big tournament.
Okay,
And we have 40 teams currently that plays between us and Galleys, and got 2 teams currently playing out of our downtown parties. And
okay,
we're trying to push it to where it could go into Goshen, but the league operator he's 70 now and he's getting rid of it and moving this to Virginia or something, so
Okay,
we just wanna do. We want adults in the bar, not kids.
okay. So, any questions on this issue right now, the violations slash shootings and hours? Cause I got some other things, but they're like different topics.
It's been 2 years since we've had any problems. I don't think the cops have been there for 2 years.
I guess, to stay on this topic maybe, and if I've overstepped, just let me know. But it sounds like you're sitting on a powder keg.
Yeah, that's why we close early now. We don't want nothing to do. At midnight, if you stay open, the kids that come in, our gangs, we're off Mishawaka Road there on County Road 7, and you get lots of problems. And that crowd, they run out the Feathers Village. They've done different things. There's been problems there that they've kind of set on them and not allowing them to do it anymore. And that crowd just goes wherever they can get.
From what I see and hear, a renewal doesn't look promising. But the board, with possibility of changes, and help, maybe there's something that we could suggest or do. So.
Like I said, we close at midnight. The crowd that we have now is somewhere between 50 and probably 40s to 60s. And we don't have any problems. And we're selling a lot more food, and we're moving forward. We're making money for the first time. That crowd, I'm sure you followed it from Gemini's to Big Easy to they've won everything.
I don't follow it, but anyway, a good segue into the food, because you said you're a restaurant. You have a type 209 permit, which requires you to sell $100,000 of on-premise food a year. You did not do that in 2023, what you reported. You were short. Your alcohol sales is actually 4 times more than food in 2023.
103,000, I think, in liquor sales. We did.
I don't care about that. I care about your food sales. So what you didn't, I don't see that you reported any food sales on your 2025 renewal, which is why you're here today. So what are your food sales?
Like 60,000.
Okay, so they're still under 100,000.
Right now, we're averaging probably 16 to 1,700. We've started a new menu. We're doing different things. We've hired a good cook, and our food sales and everything is starting to climb.
Okay, so how can you call yourself a restaurant when you're not even meeting the minimum to hold this particular liquor license?
We're full hall / restaurant, and we're trying to get our food sales to go. And it's going, we're moving in the right direction. I will never be a nightclub again. I want nothing to do with it.
I'll be honest, I didn't look up your food sales from 2013 when you took it over on. I've only looked up for the last couple of years. But you don't qualify to hold a permit. Unless you sell the food, which you haven't for 12 years, you don't qualify to hold this alcohol permit. Now you could get a beer and wine only, but no liquor. The liquor is what requires the food sales. So, I mean, it's not like a 1 or 2 year issue. It's an ongoing issue. So that's another issue. So what is your menu? What was your menu? What changes have you made to the menu?
We've added
So
steaks to our menu. We do food specials. My wife's a really good cook. She does like chicken. She does rice, chicken fried rice, and does barbecue chicken on a stick. And we've added Philly cheesesteaks to our menu to where we was doing hamburgers and a lot of wings because it was night round. And we're slowly expanding. That kitchen, when it was a restaurant, it was in the basement. Well, there's not an emergency exit other than one, so you can't do kitchen downstairs. So upstairs, there was one fryer, and a stove, and a grill, and the stove didn't work. So we've started, we're trying to convert, but it was a nightclub that just didn't work. And there was a lot of work that needed to be done. That building is 150 years old, and we put new floors in. The last 3 years, we put new floors in every level. Re-drywall, re-painted, done everything to turn it into, convert it to where it needs to be. We're trying. It's that crowd at night was devastating to us, and we've always had good regulars, but it's always been a bar, and all I can say is we're trying to convert it into something new now. It always worked for us before, but it doesn't now. That's just, the neighborhood ain't gonna allow that. Kroger's, Myers, Martin's, everybody starts closing early. That's what we're doing. I agree with you that there's a night crowd does not belong in that building. It has to convert into something new, and we started that last January. APA is working. We've bought our own pool tables. We spent a large amount of money in January on new pool tables. That has stimulated the bar. It's bringing the top shooters in because we bought high level pool tables instead of just bar pool tables. And that crowd eats and they drink, but they don't drink a lot. They're averaging maybe a couple beers per person during the day because good pool players, they don't want to shoot pool and be drunk because they're competing for a trip to go to Vegas. It's working for us. Like I said, our food sales on Fridays, they're $700. So, and the rest of the week, they're a couple $100 here and there. So hopefully we hit that 200,000 this year. Should be close. 100,000 should be close this year. Right now, we're at 15,000 on the year, which is third of the way to where we were last year. We need to improve, and like I said, since January, middle of January, we have improved a lot.
Yeah, I don't even see, oh, I do see here that the food sales was reported. Yeah, they were half of the alcohol sales, but the alcohol sales was considerably down.
Yeah, like Saturdays basically didn't exist for us because we don't do nothing at night, and we hadn't got the tournaments and leagues started until this year. Where when we bought the better pool tables, we got better players, and there's a lot of top shooters in the country living between South Bend and Goshen, and they're coming to Phil's. And it took us a while from the problems we had in 24 to get things turned around.
Who fills out your renewal paperwork?
My sister-in-law,
Okay.
Yeah.
Is,
my accountant, usually puts everything on there.
okay. You need to review that before they submit it, because they're a mess. You didn't sign the application, they submit it, you didn't sign it.
Wasn't signed this year either.
There was so many mistakes. I can't even tell you how many mistakes there were. Missing information, you didn't sign it. Yeah, so they didn't even fill in who was the owner. Like, so you need to make sure you review that, you sign it, and before you send it in. Because when I'm sitting up here looking at all the problems your bar is having, and then I look at the fact that you can't even get the application, a renewal application, filled out and submitted accurately, then I question, are you really able to run this business? You know,
I can tell you, I work.
you've been
about
doing
90
it a while, I know,
I
but
work about 90 hours a week between carpenter, I drive a truck. Or now that the bar is leveled out and actually making money, I don't have to do. So I'm there about every day. Before I couldn't be because the bar made no money. 25, the bar made no money. Food that was bought, I bought. Can't buy liquor because it has to be bought through the state, but I took out loans and put it in the bank. So we could buy liquor and beer this year because the bar made no money. Saturdays, our sales was $50 on average all day. We did nothing.
and I understand you weren't there, hence the bar. So who was running the bar when it wasn't making money?
She's there. I have managers that work for me, but I'm there now. I'm there every day. So it's when you don't make money, you have to work. I have 5 kids that I support, so we're having major issues there right now, so getting that under control too, but all I can tell you is the bar is moving forward every day, and it's finally doing what I needed it to do. This is the first year that it's done it. You could talk to the league operator, the APA right now, and numerous people that's coming in there that wouldn't come in there before. We've redid the bar completely. The inside is done. Outside has been upgraded some, and it's a lot more to do, but we're getting better every day. It always had carpet. You've been in there, I'm sure, and it's old and ruined, and now we put hardwood surface floors down and new tables and chairs and added to the menu, and it's working for us.
Questions?
Move forward?
Do you have questions?
No.
I have no other topics. So only the topics I have.
As a local alcohol board, it's our job to review and assess. And this has been an ongoing problem. And as Michelle stated, you don't qualify to hold this particular permit.
I get it.
So I am going to make a motion not to approve the renewal permit. That's my motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that. Oh,
I was gonna say.
okay. Oh, that's all right.
So it's been motion and second. All those in favor of not renewing their permit, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
So your renewal does not get approved, and that will be submitted to the state.
So let me explain to you options and kind of what happens. Don't panic. Okay.
Not panicking because they're gonna lose everything.
Don't panic. Because what I think, you even just said yourself, the pool players aren't drinking. And if they're having a couple beers, you don't need a liquor permit anyway. You need a beer and wine permit only. Then you out from under the pressure of the food sales as well. It might be a blessing in disguise. In all honesty, if you go home and think about it and, what your business is becoming. But what happens is this is only a recommendation by the board to not renew the liquor permit for Desi Corporation. So it will go to the next commission hearing, which won't be till the first Tuesday of March. The commission will either decide to uphold our vote, our recommendation, or overturn us. If they uphold us, they will notify you that they are upholding the denial. You have 15 days to file an appeal. Once you file an appeal, they'll set a hearing date. You can basically go to Indianapolis and plead your case as to why you think you should be reinstated or renewed or whatever. Throughout this entire due process time, you are allowed to continue operating. So you may have to get letters of extension or whatever, but they're not shutting your doors today. They're not shutting your doors on the first Tuesday of March. Okay. So and then if they decide to deny the permit and you say, okay, I'd rather have the beer and wine only, then you can probably work with the prosecutor on converting from one to the other without ever having to close or anything. So, we definitely appreciate all you're doing about closing earlier and trying to, redo the menu. I'm sorry you have to be there every day, but I'm glad to hear you're there every day because I think whoever has been running it and managing it has not been doing a good job. So
We tried to stay as a club for just years and sell food during the day where we didn't have the funds there during the day. It worked for us, but we never could get the food sales going. We're finally there to where we're getting to go. If you go by the front, it's advertised, billiard room, good food, good times, and we're just gonna go through a name change here hopefully soon, but that's a process too. And
right.
it's to convert from one thing to the next. I'm sure Jim, the second time around, Negotiation's having a hard time going from McKees to the second time around. And it's not easy to convert. And that's a process that it's gonna take us a while. And the liquor is gonna hurt because people do drink. And so, like I said, it's a process. And I do understand what you're saying. It's not, like I said, it's not a place I would want my kids. And not a place I would recommend my friends to go after midnight. Nowhere in this town anymore is a place to go after midnight. As far as a bar or anything like that. I did it when I was a kid, but it's not that I would do it anymore.
And it sounds like this unfortunate incident in 2024 had to occur for you to make changes.
No, we was already in the process of making the change, closing at 1 o'clock, going 35 and over parties and 30 and over parties and stuff like that. We'd already started. When you don't want to be there yourself, it's not worth doing.
Right. Do you have questions for us? Okay.
Thank you very much for coming in today.
And they'll be notifying me through email.
Yes, keep your eyes on your email and your snail mail and everything and as to what is happening on the process.
All right.
Okay.
Your spam box in case it might fall
Yeah,
into
it
spam.
does.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up, we have permit number RR 2036086. Snappers on Borneman Avenue, Elkhart.
Good morning. Can you state your name, please?
Angie McDowell.
Okay, Angie, you are still the owner of the Snappers, right? Okay. So you had a violation back in November of 24, which was sale to intoxicated patron, place of a last drink investigation. What happened with what was the incident?
I recall, I thought I was here. I wasn't prepared actually for that. I thought it was because the violation didn't get paid on time.
Well, that we're gonna snowball into that. Yeah, we're snowballing there.
Okay, all right. Randy had been there at the bar. He had been like on a motorcycle ride and then stopped at the bar. Actually had left the ride early, from what I understand, went to the bar, then left for a while and came back. And he was outside. We don't have cameras out there. I think there was a switch in the bartenders and they weren't aware of. And with the difference of having separate checks, they weren't aware of just how much he had been served. And quite honestly, Randy doesn't have an outward appearance of appearing drunk or intoxicated. So
So he was there drinking, left, switched bartenders, comes back, and the second bartender basically didn't know how much he had already been drinking.
right, and I think he had been drinking wherever, in between his other spots when he decided to come back to our place.
Okay, was he killed?
He wrecked his motorcycle, yes.
Yes, he died. That's what I knew he wrecked. I just didn't know.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the investigation the officers did, they were able to basically with testimony from other people and whatever, and the tabs that he had ran indicated he had several drinks. Enough that they were able to cite the bar for sale to intox. That incident you paid, well, the commission sent you an offer in February of 25. And it basically, the offer says either pay it, agree to it and pay, or contact us and we'll schedule a hearing. Neither was done. So in March, then the commission sent you hey, you failed to appear for the hearing and you didn't pay the fine. So what was happening with all that? Why did you miss all that?
Well, I also opened a second bar in Howe,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been kind of there trying to get that up and going. That's kind of been my pet project there, so there was someone else in charge of the documents. And it got overlooked, and then when I came back and saw all this going on, I kind of took over and made sure it got paid.
Okay, and so then you paid $1,000 fine in
Yes.
June.
Yes.
Okay, so as soon as it was brought to your attention, you were aware. How was it brought to your attention? How did you find out, like, oh, this didn't get paid and,
The paperwork that had amassed.
okay, was on like your desk when you went there or whatever? Okay, okay. Okay, I know you've had some issues this week with the expiration date and getting deliveries and blah, blah, blah. If you wouldn't have a violation, we wouldn't even be running into distributor issues, right? Okay, so, questions?
I do not have any questions.
Now, Snappers hasn't had any other violations under this permit, right?
I don't think so, no.
How long have you had this permit?
20,
Okay,
yes.
I
And
could-
I'm actually working on a transfer, which that, everything was signed and correct. It just was dated. I had everybody sign paper documents and stuff, and by the time, I think it got returned once I was missing something, so then I returned it with the same signed documents, and now they're too old.
Yeah.
So now I have to get everything re-signed, which I've got everything done except the property clearance, which I hope to have today or tomorrow.
okay, okay. Yeah, the documents do get old if they're,
Yeah,
you know,
and I
not
did-
signed within 6 months type
It's been
thing.
years since they were signed and dated, they'll do.
Yeah, I will say, I know we have talked about like a transfer occurring there at some point, but whoever is managing while you're in Howe needs to understand if they're the future owner, like that. It's the
I
manager.
brought the future manager, so she's here
Okay.
to kind of get a feel for.
Yeah, cause that's not oh, the owner's not here, throw it over here instance. And so if that's who is running it now, is going to be owning it, it's not throw the paper over there. I don't want to deal with it today.
She's aware.
Okay, okay.
I guess just a comment more than anything, I don't want to, you're probably well aware of the consequence of everything that had happened. And I'm sure you've probably implemented some type of
Yes.
training, scolding.
Well, yeah,
whatever.
and the bartenders from one shift to another, make sure they,
Communications.
yes.
Okay.
Is there a civil suit pending against a bar or anything, or bartenders? No, okay, good. That's good.
Did they have, other violations a few years back? Cause I remember they were here a few years back.
But I think this is a new permit.
That, I think that was under Snappers.
Yes,
Or
this,
LC.
this is before Angie took it over
Oh, okay.
and got her own permit for Snappy's Turtle or whatever, right, in 2020. So I know what you're saying, but yeah, there's nothing in here, and that's why, because Angie took over the bar and got her own transferred ownership, and there's been no other violations since that happened.
I think you kind of answered the question I was gonna ask, but so you have a management plan going forward where the young lady back here will be managing Elkhart, and you'll be in,
Yes. And actually, with having both, it's just become too much. That's why I'm transferring the Elkhart back. Or out of my ownership, and she'll be the manager for the new, for both of us, actually. She's on board now, and then we'll be the new manager for when the transfer is approved.
Okay, okay.
And then I'll just be,
And where do you live? Do you live in Elkhart?
Would-
Mishawaka.
Would you want to come up to the stand, please?
So you're gonna be closer. A little closer.
Can you state your name?
Lexi and Chelsea,
What's your last name?
and Chelsea.
GYHACI.
Thank you.
And just, real briefly, do you have experience of running a bar, serving alcohol, training?
Been established for a while now, and I've been under the inches lean for a few years now.
Just for the last year,
Yeah.
actually, we've been trying to make the
Process
process.
learning and seeing all the things going on.
Okay,
Okay.
I have no other questions.
Me neither.
Then, with this particular case, I am going to make a motion to approve the renewal of the permit. I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Second by Danny. All those in favor of renewing this permit, say aye. Aye.
Aye. And the only reason I didn't make amendment for 1 year only is because it's already been a year since this incident happened. So you already have 1 year under your belt clean. Just, yeah, make sure that everybody is aware of the over-serving
Sure.
thing. So,
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
right, right. Okay, and then you're set for the next 30 days anyway on
Okay.
your permit, right? You got that?
So
email.
free.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So then, just a quick question.
Mhm.
When I get this transferred finally in the mail here in the next couple days, will I be back here for that and then the new owner or just,
Just the new owner has to come.
okay,
Mhm.
all right.
You can come if you want,
Yeah.
but we don't generally ask you any questions. It's all the new owner.
Okay,
Okay? All right. Thank you for coming.
thank you.
All right, next up, we have DL 2033724. It's a transfer of Family Express Corporation, Market Street, Napanee.
Thank you.
Can you state your name?
Yes, good morning, Officer Trotter, members of the board, Alex Evermill with Bose McKinney and Evans. Also Patrick Lip, LYP, General Counsel for Family Express here.
So can you spell your last name for me?
It's LYP.
Okay. Thank you.
So I just handed Officer Trotter our affidavit of, orange sign, so that was posted up on February 2nd. This is, if you've been in Appanee, you may have seen it. It's a brand new store. It's the new model. Blue. Pretty proud of it. It's the new kind of style moving forward. I suspect you're familiar with Family Express, been in them. So all of the training, the security measures at our other stores, they've got an excellent compliance record over the years. That'll be implemented at this store, of course. I was actually at the headquarters just south of Valpo last week, and they had, and Officer Trevor and I were talking about, so they actually have a full store inside the headquarters along with other training facilities. So all their employees go through that training to make sure that there's consistency in what they're supposed to do. Everybody gets carded, zero tolerance if there's somebody sells to a minor as a violation. And that history and consistency of training is really what, big part of why Family Express is so successful in selling not only alcohol, but tobacco as a regular product and so forth. So this store will be the same. Warm beer, of course, we're still in Indiana, so only the package guys and restaurants can sell the cold beer. And, just a limited selection. I mean, it's a larger facility, but still it's the convenience store model. So warm beer and also wine if someone is in and wants to pick up a 6-pack or a bottle of wine, they'd be able to do that.
What is the carding policy for Family Express?
Everyone's covered.
Everyone? Okay. Do they have to have an ID? Do you scan it or do they punch something in or?
Yeah, they're scanned. We've moved over to that. So
Okay.
the point of sale system when it registers has an indicator to make sure not only that the card is, their ID is scanned, to make sure that the person is of age, but also the registers at the times we're allowed to sell. Sunday's the big one, right? Between, we sell between 12 and 8 p.m. And so that's loaded into the software to block sales before or after the allowable times.
Okay, is there a way to, so to complete the sale, you have to scan the ID. If they don't have their ID, you can't, there's nothing to scan. Can you override it? Like if Greg here would come in, can you override it so Greg can?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not a technology expert. The simple answer is likely no, but as you may be aware, every transaction is videotaped, and as Alex said, it's a zero tolerance policy. So if theoretically, could something like that possibly happen? In theory, it probably could. Reality is that when the videotape would be recorded, would be reviewed, that employee would no longer be with Family Express. So I think practically speaking, it couldn't happen. I don't want to stand here and say it's possible, because theoretically, it's something like that could happen.
No, I just, I didn't know if it was like, but it's not supposed to happen.
Correct. It's
Okay,
not supposed to happen. And,
Okay.
and during their training, they've talked, I mean, for benefit, one, Family Express has been around a long time, seen a lot happen. I've been doing this for a while as well. And so we have conversations about, past experience of other clients where you can have an employee that'll just use their birthday or have a favorite birthday of a parent or somebody, and then they just kind of plug in because they in a hurry or whatever the reason. As Patrick said, management watches video to ensure that their employees are following policy and doing things the right way, and it's a zero tolerance. So if something like that happens, it is truly just an employee not following policy, and that's not somebody that Family Express can want to keep on board.
okay. And, I know Family Express historically, like, we love doing compliance checks at your stores, honestly, because we know 99.9% of the time they're gonna pass, and we appreciate that. But I know there have been, what it looks like maybe 3 violations in the last 5 or 6 years. Was that prior to the ID scanning system?
I believe it was, but it's also prior to when I was, and Patrick as well is fairly new. I think that it was prior to the scanners, but the policy has been to my knowledge, to card everyone for a long time. So that might have been back in no scanners and having employees that were just able to
Yeah,
type in a date and override it.
yeah.
But I'm not certain about that. Do you know that?
I think the last violation maybe last year, Craig, if I remember correctly, because I appeared in Lake County to address that. And 2 things. One, that employee, once it was brought to our attention, the video was reviewed, that employee is no longer an employee at Family Express. But to Alex's point, I think that one may have been part of it. So I think the issue there may have been they didn't ask for the ID. So they didn't need to ask for the ID to scan the ID. And that was a challenge there. The older ones, I think, were prior to the implementation of the 100% scan the ID before the alcohol was sold to the included customer.
Okay, yeah, I know, especially bigger corporations, got a lot of moving parts, a lot of employees, a lot of managers, and the employee turnover, I get it, like, it's hard you can train them, but unless you're at every store watching people all the time, you can't control it. But I feel like if the system won't let you go without scanning the ID, then at least that you're doing the best you can to stop the human error, I guess, is what.
Terms
Sure.
of training, and again, we use that term sort of generically, and some of you may be aware, if not, Family Express does 4 complete days of training for every sales associate, actually every employee at Family Express, including myself. So I went through 4 days of training. I worked 1 day in the store. Company didn't implode. It probably should have, the way in which I'm not going qualified to be in the store there. But the point being is that it's not a half an hour, come in, the person who's working the register says, do this, do this, do this, and hopefully everything works out well. It is 4 days. The new associates paid for 4 days. If they pass the training after 4 days, then they're able to work in the store there. And not every associate passes the 4 days. Now, we pay them for the 4 days. I mean, they're employees of that. But after the 4th day, they have to just determine that it's just not a good fit or not the right time. The employee then it does not continue with us. And so, as Alex mentioned, we take whether it's the tobacco sales, alcohol sales, all the aspects of a sales associate or called CTO, which is called cravings order, it's people who cook at our stores or whatnot. So We take it very seriously. So the 4 days, we think within a 4-day period, we can gauge the employee, whether he or she will be a good fit for the company. And then moreover, very importantly, impress the importance of these important issues relating to alcohol sales, tobacco sales, and other aspects of our stores.
I have no issues. I did the final inspection there. It's a really nice big store and yeah,
Well,
everything I have is done.
I can appreciate the Family Express and the resources that you have to train the employees. Hopefully after you train them and give all this quality education that they stay with you and not move on somewhere else, which probably is another issue. It's a large investment and I'm sure you want to try to minimize your liabilities by these training sessions. So I am going to make a motion to accept the transfer of this permit. I'll take it.
Second that.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
You're moving forward.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank
You
you.
know, to your point, there is actually quite low turnover rate at Family Express. And
Oh,
its culture and its company and training and the investment that the company puts into new associates and on up. So that is also helpful in compliance. You have people that have been around for a while and know and have bought into the company policies and culture and way to do things.
In our industry, the average is 150% turnover year over year. Family Express is about 30%. So that's still 35, still high, but nowhere near what the industry average of that is. In addition, we talk about for every one new associate, we have had 50 applications. So we really try to go through it carefully. In fact, not that it's an absolute no, but oftentimes we look for people who have not worked on other convenience stores. Occasionally, they bring either bad habits or just ways in which they were trained in other stores that are not consistent with us. And so try to do it a little bit differently. We try to look for folks who might not have that predisposition. But on average, we get 50 applications for every person ultimately begins working in one of our stores.
When they walk in, you tell them to forget everything you know about working. And we're gonna tell you how to do it.
You're exactly right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you for
Well,
coming in.
Thank you.
Clearly that states what kind of company Family Express is and how they treat their employees to have that. That's awesome. It's good to know. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you.
Safe travels.
Yep.
Well, okay, finally, last on it, we have RR 204-3309. It's a new permit, and excuse me, but Ayana Mexican restaurant,
Yeah.
come forward, please, and state your name.
You can bring me your paper. Yep. Thank you. Here, I'll give you this back. I just need the one. I'll let you keep everything. Thank you.
You know, Dana Macias and her daughter.
Okay.
We're applying, well, she's applying for this new, permit at 221 Main Street here in downtown Elkhart. Sorry, do you guys have any questions?
Real quick, I know your last name's the same,
Macias.
Macias. Okay.
Miranda, but
Okay. And no, and just for the board, this is the old Tipsy Biscuit.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I know.
Okay, go on.
So yeah, we're applying for a minute. We hope that this will bring more foot traffic to Elkhart River District in downtown. We just saw that the new deal with RA is also in plans of getting approved. So we hope that that will in the summer, bring more foot traffic to downtown and we'll be operating responsibly. We're only going to be open from Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have a pretty big menu, breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're only going to be doing like a handful of drinks, margaritas, ketos, micheladas, which are like Bloody Marys, and like palomas and stuff like that. So it'll only be a handful of drinks, but we're hoping that this will be a good boost for foot traffic and everything in downtown and other surrounding areas. So
Now, do you guys have another restaurant?
yes, we do.
Okay,
We're hoping that it goes out and then just This will be our main one.
Okay, so you're not gonna have two locations, you're gonna just have one. Okay, and does the current location have alcohol?
I think it's not right now.
No, okay. So what experience, if any, do you guys have with alcohol service?
I'm 25 now and I started working in restaurants since I was like 16, 17. So when I turned 21, I, started serving, I've only ever served beer. We only had beer at this other location. So obviously like, serving beer. And
It's all the same, yep.
Yeah, it's just one drink, so.
Right,
So yeah, same thing, so it's just beer and everything, so.
okay,
So now, bringing in liquor, like, we're not gonna be, I'm not sure if it was you last week that went.
yeah, was it your dad?
My
Or
stepdad,
It's stepdad, okay,
yeah,
yep,
Didn't get sent, but, I was out running errands, and when I came in, he told me that. I think you had asked him a question about the bar counter that was.
yes,
So we're not gonna be preparing the drinks at that bar, it's gonna be all made inside the kitchen. On
Okay.
the counter that was there,
okay,
so it will be inside the kitchen and. Bar counter, sorry.
okay, so, one thing about your floor plan, I will need to have Maria sign it again because it was signed in July of last year. So we'll just, you heard us, old signatures, right? So we'll just sign that again before you go today. But, so that counter, I'm gonna label it on the floor plan as a counter, which means, if this is how you want me to do it, and I think it is, because it's so small and the seating and configuration, you don't have a lot of room for railings and whatever. So I'll label it as a counter. All that means is you can either choose to tell people at the counter, you can't drink alcohol at the counter. Or you can allow them to drink at the counter, but you have to make sure you come around next to them to serve them alcoholic beverages,
So not like.
not over. Because once you serve over, it becomes a bar, and then you have to have separation if you are gonna allow anyone under 21 without family members and things like that, which I don't think you wanna, because of the size of the place, I don't think you wanna have to worry about that. So just make sure that if like I said, either one or two rules, whichever you want, just, I will label it as a counter, so people could drink if you want them to, but if it's too difficult for employees to follow the rules, you've heard we have employees following the rules issue, just bring it around and serve it. So it's up to you. But then just make sure all your employees have server permits, make sure they all take the server training class. The restaurant has to keep records of those. So you could put them under that counter there or something. Make sure you purchase everything from a distributor, wholesaler and distributor. If somebody else is doing something that you're like, that doesn't seem right, just call us or email us and ask, because we'd rather you ask us, so that we make sure you don't have any violations. If you say, oh, we're going to do this new thing, nobody's doing it. Well, there's probably a reason nobody's doing it, because it's probably not allowed. So, just like I said, reach out to us anytime and communicate those things, because we definitely want you to be in compliance, and we're happy to explain it to you. So,
Are you gonna apply for a DORA permit to be part of the downtown walkable?
The February,
Yeah,
we haven't gotten any notification about that. I don't know where it's supposed to apply for it, or they reach out to us. We're not sure, but.
I think it's a process where you apply for
We
the
apply for it,
permit.
okay.
Yeah, I would,
Yeah.
That being said, I could connect you with the individual with the city who's kind of heading up that program,
Yeah.
and they can get you information to at least so you know what steps to take.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
is that in the Dora area?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, they're in the annex building, right here. Yeah, Drew Wins is his name.
Oh, the old Park and Recreation office?
Just the one right here on the corner
Oh,
of Lexington
yeah.
and Second.
Yeah.
It's in Mike Huber's,
Yeah,
realm.
but,
But I can ask Drew to come up and pay you all a visit. Are you
Yeah.
there now regularly?
Open right now. Like 2-3 weeks at most.
Okay.
So, yeah, for sure.
Did you have a phone number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything up to date, so
I'll ask Drew to make contact with you.
I think.
And I'm just gonna stress what Michelle already did is, training. But, yeah, good luck.
And just the reason we do the hearing in the order we did today with the violations and things first is so that people with new permits or transfer permits can hear.
Yeah.
This is what happens if you overserve somebody and, yeah, it was in a single motorcycle accident where the gentleman passed away, but it came back on the bar because they overserved him. You don't have that food requirement that the other gentleman had, but you can see how important it is to keep up with the rules and follow the laws, and otherwise you risk losing your permit. So that's kind of why we do it in that order. And just so you know, like, oh, if I'm up for renewal and I come here and it's super easy and nobody asks me anything, then yay. So, that's all.
Did I make a motion?
No, not yet.
Okay, then I am gonna make a motion to give this restaurant a new permit. All those in favor? Oh,
No.
do I have a second? Oh, there's a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
You got a new permit coming,
Okay.
Welcome to Main Street.
we think.
My pen is not working real great, but, oh,
I
yeah,
have one.
okay. Yeah, just sign in date underneath again. Today is the 19th. Do you need a paper under?
No.
Okay. Yeah, mine's struggling. Okay,
There you go.
good luck to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right,
So-
no other business?
There's no meeting in January, so there's no minutes to approve. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.